Hi and welcome back to part 3. First of all, thanks very much for your feedback on part 2, which was my #1 body language tip, which was to nod and get your customers nodding, and that really will create the yes connection in their mind. I also want to thank you for the feedback and the comments on part 2. People are getting really excited about some of these tips. They've been implementing them already with their customers and they're noticing a difference, so I hope you are too. I'm certainly getting excited by them. This is my passion, sharing these things with you and helping you become the very best salesperson that you can be. Now, if you haven't seen tips 1 and 2, then feel free to click on the link, watch parts 1 and 2, and then join us back here for part 3. When you get all 3, then you'll really have a dynamic addition to your sales process to help you sell more profitably, more often. Now, before we move into part 3, I ought to explain where I am. We've moved this time into Ringways Ford, which is a big Ford dealership in the north of England, and I'm privileged to include Ringways as one of my clients, and I've been working with Ringways for a couple of years now, helping them change the way they handle customer inquiries and creating the wow factor in their sales experience. Now, if you've seen the other 2 videos, then you'll know that the opportunity that I'm talking about is helping you to improve your conversion rate. And I also want to move forward, talk to you about how you can increase your referral sales and how you can increase your repeat sales, so that you genuinely can get yourself to the top of the sales tree with as little effort as possible. In fact, from your sitting at the desk watching these videos, implementing these strategies, tactics and techniques with every customer. And I'm sharing with you strategies, tactics, techniques, tips, hints that are the result of 20 years worth of research, 20 years worth of experience, and some considerable expertise that have benefited thousands of salespeople and hundreds of companies in many different circumstances. Indeed, they've benefited me personally and have helped me sell over £20 million worth of products and services in my career. And my passion now is to share these with you, is to pass these things on to you so that we can learn the tips and tricks of the very top salespeople. People like Joe Girard, who was in the Guinness Book of Records as the world's #1 salesperson. In fact, not only was the world's #1 salesperson, he was the world's #1 car retail salesperson, selling over 1,400 cars in 1 year. Individual retail sales, 1,400 cars in 1 year. His best day, he sold 18 cars in 1 day. Now, the main topics that we're going to be talking about are these tactics and these strategies that people like Joe use. And the good news is they're easy, but they're only easy when you know how. So by watching these short videos, you're getting the top tips and the top strategies and tactics and techniques from the world's greatest salespeople. So it's not just how you act, it's not just how you think, and it's not just the words you use. It's a combination of all of those. And if you're ready to take the next step, if you're serious about getting yourself to the top of your sales league, then follow me now into the studio and let's have a look at my #1 tip for sales process. One that you can add to your sales process that will make a massive difference to how your customers behave. This tip will get your customers giving you permission to give them the full sales experience. It will also pre-close them that you're going to ask for the business at the end of your sales process, and you're going to let them know that if they say no, you're going to ask them why, and you're going to do your damnedest to overcome their objection. So if you're ready to take the next step, if you're ready to become a top salesperson, let's go to the studio and have a look at my #1 sales process tip. Hi, and welcome back to the Third, number one tip. This is my number one process tip. I've shared with you my number one body language tip, and I've shared with you my number one psychological tip. If you've got this far, then you really are going to be a champion salesperson. You've demonstrated already your desire to improve your ability to sell more often, more profitably. Now, this number one tip is to do with customer expectation and how you can take control of the situation. So this is for when you've got to the stage where you're sat at your desk with a prospective customer, and the prospective customer isn't really sure of what's going to happen next. I'm suggesting that what champion salespeople do is they set an agenda. So you might say something to the customer like, before we go any further, may I suggest a way that we can progress things? And then what you do is you set the agenda for them. So before we go any further, may I suggest a way that we maybe can progress things? If we go outside and have a look at your old car and get the details of that, then we can come back inside and have a look at the car that you'd like to own and get all the details and make sure everything's okay with that. Whilst we're doing that, I'll give the details of your old car to my sales manager, and he'll get you the best possible price for that. He'll go on the internet, get on the phone, and make sure that you're getting the best possible price. Whilst he's doing that, we could take the opportunity to go for a drive in your new car and make sure it does everything that you want it to do. When we come back, if you're convinced that that is the right car for you, then we can sit down and we can do some figures. And if you like what you see, you'll probably say yes. And if you don't, you'll say no. And I'll ask you why. Is that a straightforward way of going ahead? Now, if you do that with your prospective customer, that gives them an indication of where the process is going. It also gets you permission to do the Part X appraisal. It gets you permission to give the details to your sales manager to do the price. It gets you permission to do the test drive, and it gets you permission to show them the figures and to ask for the business. And further to that, it also gets you permission to ask them why if the answer is no. So setting the agenda is a really important part of setting up a really successful sales process. Something you may have noticed when I was setting the agenda. When I said let's go outside, I said let's go outside and look at your current car. Then I said let's come back inside and have a look at the car that you might like to own and see what you need in it. Then what I did is switch your current car to old car, because I said I'll give the details of your old car to my sales manager, and he'll get on the internet and on the phone and get you the best possible price. Then I moved you from the car you'd like to own into your new car, because what I said, whilst he's getting you the best possible price, we could take the opportunity to go for a drive in your new car. So I've moved you from your current car to an old car, and I've moved you from the car you'd like to own into your new car, at the same time as getting permission to go through the process and pre-closing you. Because after we've done the figures, if you like what you see, you'll probably say yes, and you will remember to nod, won't you? And if you don't like what you see, you'll probably say no, and I'll ask you why. Is that a straightforward way of going ahead? That gives you full permission to take the customer right the way through the sales process, and you've already preconditioned them that their current car will become their old car, the car they'd like to own is going to become their new car, and you're going to get the figures and they're going to agree with you. Good luck and good selling. Hi guys, and welcome back. So that's it for part 3. Before we go any further, welcome to the training room here at Ringways Ford. The guys have just taken a quick break, and I thought I'd take the opportunity to talk to you and first of all say thanks for watching those 3 parts. If you haven't seen parts 1 and parts 2, then click on the link and go back and watch parts 1 and part 2. But if you've seen all 3, then you've now seen my number 1 psychology tip for creating the right mindset. So the right mindset is to approach every prospect as being a genuine customer and giving them the full sales experience. My second video was my number 1 body language tip, which was to nod whenever you want the customer to nod, and the customers will nod along with you. You probably noticed on the studio sessions when I talked about that you were nodding along with me. And then the third video, the one that you've just watched, is about taking control and setting the agenda and pre-closing the customer. So when you set the agenda, you get permission off the customer to go all the way through the sales process, and you also pre-close them by letting them know you will ask for the business, and if they say no, then you are going to ask them why. Implement all 3 of those and you will be really successful successful as a salesperson. All the champion salespeople I know use all three of those consistently in every sales situation. Now, if you're thinking they're too simple, I'm going to agree with you that they are simple, but they are dynamic and they are powerful. Implement all three for success. Get the right mindset with every customer. Nod as often as possible and get that yes link in the customer's mind. And also pre-close every sale by using an agenda, getting permission to go through the sales process and letting the customer know that you are going to ask for the business at the end, and if they say no, you're going to ask why. Put all three together and you will make a massive difference to your conversion rate. It puts you in charge of the sales process and it can increase your conversion rate beyond your wildest dreams. Your commissions will go up, your lifestyle will change, your confidence will improve, and you'll have more people buying off you more often, more profitably. Okay, so you've done all three parts, so what's the next step? Well, the most logical next step for you is the ultimate knockout closing system. This is 20 fabulous tactics, strategies, and techniques that will help you close every customer. And I'm going to make my ultimate knockout closing system available for sale online for the first time ever. Now, in the last three videos, what we were doing was kind of taking a 30,000 foot view of what you would learn in the ultimate knockout closing system. We can zoom right in onto the detail. 20 specialist techniques that will get you closing every sale, that will put you in control of every customer and every prospect. Now, simply put, you can actually become a top salesperson from right there in your seat. Just sitting at your desk watching these videos, taking on board this information, can make you a really top salesperson. Now, I'm sure you studied sales before. Certainly, if you're keen on becoming a top salesperson, you will have done. But it's a bit like sporting greats. If you think of the greats currently in sport, the top people in their own discipline, they understand the process, they understand the mechanics of how to be successful. But more importantly, they understand the strategies and the tactics and the techniques that make them the best at what they are. And that's what I want to share with you. That's what I want to offer you. The opportunity to understand the strategies, the tactics, and the techniques to make you a top salesperson. Now, lots of people study selling, but they don't study the tactics. When you become a top salesperson, you'll understand the strategies, you'll understand the tactics, and you'll have all the techniques that you need. And that will make you a top salesperson. And the good thing about this is, once I've shared these tactics with you, once you know what they are, they're yours. And they're yours forever. And nobody can ever take them away, and they're always available to you, and you will always be able to use them with every customer and in every sales situation. Now, the question you might have in your mind is, but how much is the investment in these strategies, tactics, and techniques? And before we get to that, I want to let you know about my cast iron guarantee, my steal our stuff guarantee, if you will. You see, I want to make this as risk-free as possible for you to invest in your own development. I want to take out all the risk. And that's why I'm offering you this 60-day guarantee. That's right, 60 days. I'm offering you the opportunity to go through the ultimate knockout closing system, to implement it in your sales career. And at the end of 60 days, if you don't believe that it's added the value that you think it should have done, then I'm happy to give you your money back. Now, I recognize that that means you could go online, you could go through the ultimate knockout closing system, you could take all those strategies, tactics, and techniques, you could implement them with every customer, you could go as far as maybe doubling your sales, certainly increasing your sales, increasing your commissions, making yourself more money. You could do all of that, and then at the end of it say, I didn't like it, Rob. And you could steal it. You could steal it and you could share it with your friends. But I know you won't, because that's not what champion salespeople do. But nevertheless, I'm prepared to give you that absolute cast iron guarantee, that steal our stuff guarantee, if you like. 60 days Try everything that we've shared with you, and if it doesn't make the difference that you believe that it should make, then feel free to let me know and I'll give you a complete refund. Now, the good thing about this course being online is this. I can deliver this course to hundreds, hopefully thousands of people and share these tactics and strategies and techniques. And that saves me an awful lot of cost in terms of distribution and delivery. Not only that, you can benefit from it all from right there in your seat. That's right, this full course will be delivered into your desktop. You can watch these videos from your seat and become a top salesperson without leaving your desk. Now, just pay attention for a moment, because I'm releasing the Ultimate Knockout Closing System next week, and I'm going to put on it a special offer for the first 7 days. So that means that for the first 7 days, you will benefit from having the opportunity of getting the full course and all the information you need right there from your desk for only £97. Not only that, I'm going to offer you 3 bonuses worth over £1,000. I'm going to offer you my exclusive 5 golden rules for overcoming every objection. I'm going to offer you access to my referral system, which could double your sales in less than a year. And thirdly, I'm going to offer you 50% discount off my next course. And my next course truly will be a sensational course which takes you right from the top to the bottom of the perfect sales presentation. The soup to nuts, if you like, of a champion salesperson's presentation. So keep your eye on your inbox. Look out for my next email and video. You'll have 7 days to take me up on the offer, and I look forward to seeing you then. Now, as ever, please put some comments in the box below. Let me know what you thought of the first 3 videos, and any questions you've got at all about your sales presentation, your sales career, and how I can help you sell more profitably, more often, moving forwards. Thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.